All right, first actual patient for Michael Fix-It. Michael Fix-It. So it's a Gretsch Electromatic bass, which is not set up well. It's buzzing a lot at the top fret. We think the nut is probably cut too low. But job number one is to set it up right, and then we can evaluate what's wrong with the frets or nut, if anything. So we're just gonna give her a setup. I can't really show you while holding the camera. I need 4 hands, but the relief is plausible. I don't see anything glaringly wrong that might explain that. So yeah, I think we might be looking at either a nut replacement, or I might be able to do the guy a favor and do the super glue and baking soda trick and raise those 2 outer nut slots. The inner ones look okay, but the outers seem to be fretting out. But again, we'll diagnose that after the setup. And what do we have for truss rod nut in this thing? How will this come out? Once again, this is exceedingly difficult to do with the camera. I now know what all those YouTubers were talking about. Okay. Excellent. It's going to take a hex head, I think. Can we get a focus there? Yeah. And look at that nut. Giant. Does it go down into the nut slot itself? Is that what I'm seeing? Not sure. We might try the baking soda trick on this puppy. We'll see. Okay, it's tuned up now. It doesn't seem to be as bad as it was. Again, I can't hold the camera and play, but it doesn't seem to be fretting out. It may have just been tuned low. Should ask the fellow if he tunes flat or anything like that. Some good news here. Maybe I can show it. Measuring the relief at the 7th fret, capo on 1, and fretting at the 17th where it meets the body, actually a little past where it meets the body. We can't get the 12 thou underneath there without moving the string. So it's got a little too much, too much tension on the truss rod. We'll back that off a little bit and see if that doesn't give us the relief we need to make the buzz go away. Okay, strings are off. By the way, rather than one of those pillow things, all we're using is a table on top of a table, which gives us some space for the headstock to hang. And should it get pulled too close, it'll hit the towel. That'll do for now. Keep needing to build one, or maybe just bite the bullet and buy one. Cleaning it up a little bit with a bit of the universal tool. Not the best cleaning material, but it's actually helping get some of the smoky smell off this one. And it also acts to condition the fretboard. At the end of the day, it's just mineral oil, same as what you would use preferentially. So no problem. You can oil your fretboard with WD-40 or 3-in-1 oil. Works fine. Don't use food oils. That's how you get mold. So yeah, we did a little servicing with the good stuff, deoxit fader lube. Still have to get into the backside, so let's do that now. As often happens, the cavity didn't want to unseal, but we've encouraged it with a bit of leverage. Boy, these black finishes love to pick up your fingerprints, don't they? You just can't ever stop cleaning it. The moment you touch it, it needs to be cleaned again. Okay, what's in here? Not much. No shielding. That's a possible place for improvement. Oh, actually, there's probably shielding paint in there. That'll do. Although I don't see any evidence that this is shielded, so that would be an area for improvement. Switch looks fine. And yes, let's get in there with the fader lube. This is not just maintenance, or this is not to repair an issue. There's no problems with the sound, but it is a lubricant and will contribute to the life and good behavior of the pots. I'm going to do this with both hands, but yeah, pots are getting serviced. We'll spray it on the switch too, even though it's for faders. It's fine to use on switches. It's a little bit overkill. They make another one. The red stuff you should use on metal contacts like switches. This is meant for pots, but it won't hurt switches. Pro tip for amateurs: you can lubricate your nut slots with pencil graphite, aka lead. It's not lead, it's graphite. Just draw in them. Fill that all up with black pencil, and your strings will slippy slip through it, and there's no liquid to go gumming up your nut slot or anything like that. And do it now before you put the strings on. It's a lot easier. We're going to do one more thing for this fella. I'm just wiping this off and notice that, yeah, it's catching the cloth right there. See? So we're gonna file those down so they don't stick out. Got just the file for it. And here's the tool in question from Stu Mac. It's sorry, Stu Mac, flat on one side, totally flat, and then this side is kind of softly curved. Neither the flat nor the curved side will mar the rosewood, and then the cutting sides are on the edges. So you can get right in around those, but that's definitely a two-hand job. I'm not going to video it. And we're just going to do the first few frets where I feel it. Down here, we'll do a little bit of everything. Why not? We're here with the strings off. It's time. Okay, the fret edges are all now lovingly rolled. They no longer catch the cloth. Nowhere. Good. Even the top edge, even though your fingers never really touch those, did briefly touch that. And these are now very nicely rounded. I doubt you can see it with this camera. Makes it much nicer to play. And it'll keep you from accidentally pulling a fret out if you ever catch it on a piece of fabric or something. Here's one for you. It's a pet peeve. I hate the sound this makes, and I also hate contemplating that it might be damaging the string, causing the first little bit of a nick or something, or wearing the plating off the inside of the hole. So I do it very gently and slowly, so as not to make a horrible zippering noise. That's a poly finish, which will not be bothered by this string gently pulling over it. There's the end. Nice and slow. No hurry. Let that through. Now, what we're doing is, before we commit to anything, making sure that the string fits the guitar. It's a short scale string. I don't know what the guitar's scale length is in inches offhand. I'm told it's short scale, seems to be, fits these. And there's the high string, make sure it works too. Whoa. It's not in yet, but yes, sure enough, its silk comes past the nut, and the silk is fully tapered before it reaches its respective tuning peg. You want to check that before you put any strings on, definitely before you cut them. If you can, before you bend them, although if it's a through body, you may have to bend them in order to mount them first. But you can kind of estimate sometimes how much extra string that through body will be. And yeah, just make sure it's going to work before you commit. One more thing I do before putting strings on: pour a little 3-in-1 in my hand and run the strings through the oil. The strings are going to get oily anyway with human oil, so we might as well start with nice clean mineral oil. Is all 3-in-1 is paraffin oil. of a not particularly great quality, but it doesn't matter for this job. And again, it's better than better to saturate it with oil to begin with, and then it won't have human oils invading it. Well, it will, but there's already oil present there to kind of keep it out. Pro tip from an amateur who's now a pro. See how this works? These are some nice strings too. They're D'Addario chrome flats. A little light, 45 to 100. I'm used to 105. Is that a thing they do for flats? I think even my roto flats that I'm used to are at 105. We'll string it all up first before tightening any, and again, just make sure there's no surprises before we commit to any string. One left. And last check, it's gonna work. And you're saying, of course it's gonna work, and you know, oh ye of little faith. The one time out of, 20 string changes that you're surprised that the scale length isn't what you thought it was gonna be, you'll be happy you tested it first, trust me. Okay, there's one. So normally on a Fender I go, but you pre-cut the strings on these split post style. Normally on a Fender I go 2 posts and about half, but of course this is completely different. So I went over to a Fender and measured how long 2 posts is, and it's about 5 inches. So I cut the string 5 inches, which may have been a little on the long side. Could have come back an inch maybe. But that's it's still on the capstan area, so that's fine. But it doesn't need quite that much for future reference. Can we capture the fun part? These are so much easier to use than the through hole kind. Stick it in and down, bend it over 90 degrees. Yeah, maybe I better use 2 hands for this. But you get the idea, and then you wrap it around. It's that easy. Need my other hand. Altogether, doesn't seem to have any more buzz at the first fret, although the action is now crazy high. So we're gonna fix that. But first, we have to go back and check the neck relief again. So 12 thou. Silence. We'll be back. Can we do this? Oh, I took the cable off already. Whoops. One more time. That's the 12 thou feeler, and you can just get it under. And that's the 7th fret, and 1st and 17th are frets. So there we go. That's our 12 thou neck relief with the new strings, same as the old strings. That's a good sign. Also, I found as I was tuning it up, bringing the pitch up on the last few strings didn't really pull the other ones flat, which means the neck is nice and stable. Might be a 2-way truss rod. And here's a tool you really want, although I'm not sure you need to buy this particular one, but a string gauge. I mean, any accurate ruler can do it. That's reading in 64th of an inch, which there's very handy units for this, and usually what you'll find for specs for guitar setups as well. So that's pretty high right now. I think I can't really read that without getting my face in there, but I think that's going to be around 8 or 9 when it should be more like 6 or less. So we'll get that action fixed, and we haven't looked at intonation yet either, although it's been sounding okay as I play it. I think it's going to set up all right, but let's wait and see. Okay, there they are, all strung up. Again, went a little deep on the number of winds. Didn't want to have too little and was a bit unfamiliar with how this bass is going to turn out, so erred on the high side. That doesn't hurt anything. You do want to make sure that the string is good and tight as you wind all those winds on, though. Don't just tighten it at the end after winding everything else on loose. That doesn't turn out well, but that'll be fine. And for those playing along at home, the scale length is 30.3 inches. Like anyone can measure 0.3 inches, but that's what the specs say. Anyway, that's why you've got intonation adjustment. Nobody knows what 0.3 inches is. And doing the intonation. It's all set up. Plays well. Wish I could show you.